you to do a lot of sketches, because when I experienced that, during my school time, even during my job nowadays. So I think the uh, sketching skill is very important to make your drawings smooth, to and also to develop your imagination on your design proposal. Like I said before, in this design communication is a tool for you to communicate. If you fail to draw or to come up with the uh, graphic presentation, the message maybe is difficult for people to understand, especially your audience or your lecturer in the studio. So maybe the message, uh, uh, it's hard to understand it. Right, the message you deliver maybe it's difficult to accept, especially your design proposal. So that's why you know that it's not only plan. Okay, the, the plan just show the layout of the space that you design it, right? The plan. And also the section show certain hierarchy of space. For example, the space, the level, right? The structure, the height of the landscape structure. For example, the softscape and the hardscape. But the the three-dimensional drawing will describe or will show is more meaningful, ambience, ambience, the environment that you're trying to create. So that's why the three-dimensional drawing is very important to for people to understand it. But sometimes people more attracted into your three-dimensional drawing rather than 2D drawings. So that's why if you can come up with several type of perspective, sketches of your design, ideas, so it's more easier for people to understand, to read what do you want to develop. Otherwise, it's very tough for them to understand your design characters, because it's 2D. If you look at a plan, how the plan configure, it's not so much in terms of to show up the environment, right? So it's more like the plan just show the spatial arrangement. For example, where you want to put the trees, parking space, the entrance, right? Where you want to put the some significant features, element, for example, like water feature, pool. But how this environment looks like. So that's why it's very important to show in the three-dimensional drawings. Okay, is it okay, Ispar? How are you?
Yeah, fine.
So
I
what time in Jeddah?
Right now it's almost 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Yeah,
Okay, this
4.
this time this time very comfortable for you, right?
Yeah, yeah, very comfortable.
Because our class normally organized in the early morning, not early morning, night something. So very early morning in Jeddah. So, but Alhamdulillah, so today is more comfortable time for you.
Yeah.
Okay, how about the
Remember,
space student? Can you hear me, Azrul?
last time you asked us to make these sketches.
Yes.
So, yeah, I already organized them.
Very good.
Yeah.
So if we have time, this it's okay. You keep it first, because all the works you need to submit it later on in the portfolio. Remember
Yeah.
the A3 portfolio.
Yeah, yeah.
So I always mention that um, doing this is not for the sake of design communication exercise. No, working on this, doing what I said to you, I order you because to develop your specific skill on landscape architecture. All right.
Yeah.
Some, of course, that computer is another tool. Manual also is another tool to draw, to sketch, to describe, to show. All this is different type of communication skill. Okay. Always remember that if you have a good theories, good understanding of landscape architecture, landscape design in your mind, but you don't know, you cannot draw properly, it's very hard for you to express your design ideas. So, uh, I'm sharing to you because I explained that. Okay, not in term of the process of learning, but this is part of it. But as a best designer, okay, as a person that already work in the industry, especially when I work in Singapore, so I working basically much more on the landscape planning, landscape design, master plan, working with manual sketch. So it's very important to understand how we can express our work, our our proposal, our everything that can tell your design ideas. So that's why it's very important when you work on do a lot of exercises, sketch, right? Working on plan. I think sketching when you do a lot of sketching activities. So it's not just about developing your skill, drawing skill, but later on you can cache a bit some of the theories of landscape architecture design. For example, to understand about some detailing of the building, detailing of the landscape features, the composition. You can understand the composition. For example, you compose some element of hardscape and how you blend with the soft landscape, right? So you understand some composition that apply from your understanding in other field of landscape architecture, such as the introduction of landscape design. So you also can catch about some the importance of proportion. For example, when you want to setting up some features, landscape features, of course that you need to understand some order, how to make a more harmony, composition, contrast, rhythm, repetition. So both way. So once you understand about some to design a space or a place, then second is to show your ideas in the drawings. All right. So that's why I really urge you to do a lot of sketching, because through the activities you can understand step by step how people design it. What are the things that you want to show in your design? Everything that we you see on the road, in the park, everywhere, people plan for it, except a natural landscape. If you go to the city, people design it, people plan for it, right? So people experience something something creation by other by designers, example, by planners, by landscape architect, by architect. So that's why uh, you need to understand that kind of principle in landscape design, as well as in the theories of landscape architecture. Okay, let me show up sharing with you my slide today. I do apologize, guys, because sometimes I need to uh, to delay our class, to postpone, and we need to replace it because it's not easy also for me, after because I'm involving with the administrative uh, 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 activities in UTM. So that's why I sometimes right, they have a meeting. Sometimes I need to go outside the away from the university. So I hope that you can understand it. Okay, let me show. Now next week we have a convocation, so that's why also this time is busy for everyone in UTM to organize it. So I hope that you can see our today's lecture, the three-dimensional drawings. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether that this slide going smoothly or not, because now I trying to use the presentation mode. Okay, so today I would like to talk about isometric perspective, and sketches. So this is all common in three-dimensional drawings. I think you can start on quick. Can you see the sketches?
Yes, can see these sketches.
Yes.
Okay, okay, means that my slide is moving, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you please remind me. So you can start on, do some simple sketching. Okay, try to get the understand about some landscape character, because we're talking about landscape, actually the environment that consists of several features. Example, you can see from this sketch, quick sketch, the some trees example, lawn, the grass, and the seating, right? So there are three elements there: the grass or the floor finish, then the tree, and also the two benches, right? So if then you compose it, become a space, and is this space called resting area. Very a simple way to understand it. This is a sitting area, right? And you can see two people, one standing under the trees and one sitting on the bench, isn't it?
Yes.
So that show the landscape environment or the atmosphere of that particular area. So this sketch is very simple, but it's meaningful in terms of addressing the meaning of the place or the space that been created. And you can see below, on the right side, so you can see some element as well. Example, what you can see there?
On the right side,
Yeah, the bottom,
The
the
path,
picture.
the
The
path
pathway, the trees,
the path,
the
Yeah,
bench, the bench.
flows.
you can see the walkway, right? People are walking,
walkway, walkway.
isn't it? People are walking along the certain. You can see the stairs as well, isn't it? You can see the stairs and you can see the feature wall, the wall, maybe the space between it, maybe the transition space, and you can see the wall. You can see you see the stairs there, the step.
Yes.
So it means that it shows the different type of level. So the adjacent space, and you can see the walkway are in the different level, and you also can see what you can see there, the row of trees, isn't it? To give
Yes.
shade. Why they put the trees there? Because the trees can give enough shade for people walking comfortably along the walkway. And behind it, you can see at the end of this image, or you can see the behind it, there are a building. There is a building there, isn't it? It could be a
Yes.
restaurant, it could be a hotel, it could be a viewing tower. So that's what I want to explain it to you. If you sketch, you can figure out certain character. Same like this. We are reading others people drawing without the author or the author explain it this to us. So it very easy, isn't it? Because drawing describe certain message, right? So if you look long time ago, also same. In the maybe people draw on the stone, sand, wood, right? Because then people can see certain character from the drawings. So the drawings, I think, very strong, enough power to show the expression of the author, right? So that's why you can see the two images there as well. So there are several type of drawings or sketch. You can sketch the environment, the whole context of the view of that particular area, or you can sketch, even you can zoom in certain angle that show up certain character of maybe one or two particular landscape elements, such as window, uh, uh, landscape furniture, the pavement pattern, right? So, and below you can see the sketchbook, and there you can play with pencil, pen. That's the equipment. Some equipment, of course, nowadays it's up to you to buy, but at least you must be ready. So bring your F4, you go outside there, do a lot of sketches. This is same. So you see the two sketches there. It's very simple sketches, but it's a very meaningful that everyone can see, right? So for example, this is space. I want to create a space for people sit comfortably with nice tree, so we can have a large big trees and maybe with some flowers on it. Then then we allocate that two benches under the trees. People can sitting nicely there, right, under the canopy and with the grass as a floor finish. So you can explain it, even though this sketch is very simple. Okay, do you understand it, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do
Yes.
last few weeks, right? So not necessary for you to draw very detailed. This is part of the practice. Okay, for space student as well, Azrul and the rest. Okay, Azrul, can you hear me?
Yes,
The
Prof.
space student, yeah.
Yes, Prof. I'm here.
So you can go by the Air Force sketchbook. Do a lot of sketching like this. For example, you go to Kuala Lumpur, you go to some cities, you draw KLCC, the big tower, whatever that you think that interesting for you to capture, right? So that's to create your to develop your skill. There are two things there. One, your drawing skill, and another one to understand about certain design character. Okay, that's why we can see that when I explain to you, there is a walkway, people walking nicely under the canopy, row of canopy trees there, and you can see the upper level is a bit higher compared with the maybe that area. When if you see the staircase there, the area over there maybe is restaurant or something different, right? Different type of activities. So when they raise up the level, so it shows that certain privacy. So you can explain in many ways because once you put your drawing, once you put all the things in the drawing, people will interpret it in many ways, isn't it? So same like this. For example, lines, texture, and shadow. Um, when you go outside there, you can see maybe the environment of the orchard. So you start draw, and you can understand from here not just about the composition, but how your skill on line. You use you apply your specific skill online. For example, you can see the trees standing vertical, very vertically. You can play also with some texture, shadow, giving some stroke, line profile. So this is show a space of this maybe entrance. At the end, maybe it's a gate. You can see the row of trees there. It's a garden, right? Because of you can see the composition of that particular trees. Okay, so that's a bit my introduction. So this is we are starting to think about these three-dimensional drawings. So once the axonometric and isometric. So this is the plan. You can see. Let me show it in. Okay, this is the plan, right? Or plan. So then from this plan, for example, a space, you rotate 60 and 30. That is isometric projection. So this 60, this 30, and you get this angle, then you construct the column or the space there, the wall. So you can see this is the wall. This is the wall on plan. This is the wall already, the composition already rotated. Then this is the 3D. So you use your ruler. You put a vertical composition. Okay, ruler. Then you just extrude the line. Now I'm teaching you manual, but computer is very easy. That one is later, right? Then you can see the space character there. All right. So if you change into different type of degree, so you will get like this. So it's depend on how what you want to show it in this particular drawing, or is it this space is more important or the whole space become more important? You just choose that, right? So if you develop like this, so you can see the space behind the wall cannot be seen clearly, but here you can see that very clear, right? There's two sides of this particular area. And also same like this, if you change into this kind of angle, rotation, when you develop a 3D, so we can see like from this side, not from the front or maybe from the behind. Okay, so you can imagine that this is the plan, this is the building, and this is the space, maybe a corridor or lobby, and you can see there as well. This is the wall that already been this composition is already rotated there, like here. Then this you can see how the plan looks like, still there, and you develop the wall. So this is the x, y, and z. All right. So the x, y. So you can see the line, and you can add on the z composition there for to develop this 3D. And this is more easier to understand it from plan how you can see. So this is the plan example, just a plan. Of course, you cannot see the space. So if you play the 60, 30, 30, 60, it depend on what you want to show it. This is axonometric. Okay, isometric. Axonometric, you use a 45 by 45. So you will get like this, right? This is 45 by 45. This is all isometric. So it depends on you. You want to, you can use this composition, or also you can use this composition, and this is the axonometric with 45 degree and another 45 degree there. So you can see this 45 degree, and this is isometric, this is axonometric. So axonometric we use a 45 by 45. For isometric we use a 60 by 30 or 30 by 60. But now you can see the different type of angle to show up the space characteristic. Okay, same like here. Okay, if you use a 30-15, you can see more flat the space. All right, so this one more rectangular shape, isn't it? So it's depend on you. It's not right or wrong, but you must know that your drawing trying to show up the atmosphere of this particular area. um, I think you also can get from Google, YouTube to show up the how to draw axonometric, how to draw isometric. I'm not sharing today, but I think there are a lot of references in YouTube. um, so you can see this is the plan, right? So when you draw the plan, it will show up like this. Of course, this plan is already rotated into a 45 by 45 or 60 by 30. On plan, you can see, where, for example, like this. Let me. Okay, this is the isometric. So if you can imagine that the plan of this is the space. Can you see my red pen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the wall. Very tough for me to use a mouse, but it's more easier for me. So this is the plan. Or someone. Well, okay. So this is the wall there, and you can see this another wall. So normally we use a double line there to show the wall there, and you can see this. Uh, what is this? What is this? Can you guess? What is that? A door, right? Okay, so you
Yes,
can
I do.
see, yeah, and here a square. You can see a sitting. So this is on plan, all right? And now also we're trying to figure out here interior. There were a shelf there. Okay, and also they have some furniture as well here. Okay, this is on plan. So you can see this. Then when you rotate it into like here, like this. Example 45 by 45. You rotate and you can still see the wall. Maybe I just show one. So this is the wall. Okay. So you just develop this wall, the 3D. So now you can see this is the wall, same like in the drawings. Just want to demonstrate it to you. Okay. Now you can see the 3D. Maybe here you put for example a people. Can you see people?
Yes.
Okay, this is one person. So in sketch, maybe in the middle, it's not easy for me to draw using a mouse here. Uh, okay, this is the on plan. This is the 3D. Now you can see very easier, very easy. So this is the shelf, and this is the shelf. One, this is on plan. Two, two. Can you understand it? This is the wall. One, two. Okay, and this is one, the plan, and two. Can you see? Can you understand?
Yes.
Okay, you complete the plan, simple plan, then you try to rotate the plan into the isometric or axonometric. Axonometric is 45 by 45 degree. Okay, by 45. Isometric is 60 by 30. And now you can see what is the difference between axonometric and isometric. So it's axonometric, you can see is more, uh, but I can explain it to you. You can see much more bigger vision, to see the whole spaces. But for isometric, there are some area you cannot see it because of behind the certain wall structure. So in the isometric, people can understand all spaces easily, but in terms of isometric, there are some part you cannot show it because of the vision are a bit limited. Okay, and this is the plan. Okay, this is my work when I study in UK urban design. So this is my work. So for me as a designer, it's very tough to read or to show our design on plan because the plan just show the two-dimensional structure, not so much the ambience. All right. Maybe if you want to use that, so the audience could be easy for them to read your design ideas. So this is the plan. Example, this is the building. This is all building in UK. In UK, this is very typical housing. So all the block are facing to the road, and there are less open space or private yard in front of the building. Basically, the building and the road. And where is the garden? That's the garden behind the block. So these are all their private garden. Of course, here they have a very long backyard, so the properties maybe is much more expensive than this because the building are same size but not for the open space or their private garden. So maybe the bigger unit will need to pay more compared with the smaller open space. So this is the map. So when I want to understand the landscape character or the space making, place making of this area, and I need to try to put into a 3D. Okay, because like this. So you can see I started to rotate into the axonometric. So I turn the plan into 45 to 30. It doesn't matter. Then I extrude from the plan. For example, you can see this figure. This is this corner, this block. When you rotate it, so this is the block. Okay. Now you can see the space character. So once you develop the building wall that shows a more 3D, three-dimensional artist expression or three-dimensional structure, you can see some opportunities to design it, right? You can see the volume. Otherwise, it's very tough for you to design because hard very difficult to uh, adapt your design ideas into the existing feature. So from the plan, you turn it into like this, then you develop. Do you understand, guys?
Yep, understand.
Okay. You can practice it. Last time I asking you to draw a plan, right?
Yeah,
The plan.
yeah, a plan.
So then later you try to develop a 3D, axonometric or isometric. You can try both. Then you rotate your plan, use isometric uh, 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 guidance, 45 by 45. Then after you finish, you trying to use or draw the isometric. Then what I want to explain here, because this is I trying to change the building. Of course that this project is about urban design, not so much the landscape only, but I also have some opportunities to redesign the block. Okay, because this course actually urban design, we need to know a bit on building. We can suggest some architectural character. Then later on, how it blend to the landscape. So we go step by step. So now you can see some option. So I always start my drawing with a 3D because sometimes it's very tough as a designer to understand the existing volume of the place. So once you develop this, you can see the opportunities are much bigger in terms of, for example, the space character, the scale, the proportion, right? The even the visual aspect. So you can trying to do some assessment to examine, to investigate the opportunity for you to design it. So then that's why I always start my work with a 3D because for me the 3D form is much more easier to understand, to design, to plan, and to predict your future imagination that you can establish later on from your design ideas. Okay, then you can see from there I start develop the plan. This is the plan, right? The plan just to show the layout of the place of this particular residential area. But on plan is not enough, right? The plan is not enough because it won't tell much the ambience or the landscape setting of that particular area. Then you can see the next drawings. I start again. You can see the block is already there. The block means the building layout already changed into that particular character. Then you can see from the plan, I already start design. For example, the parking space in front of the block, the house. You can see the green there. It is the green. So this space become a pocket space for this community. So and at the end is a this is the public park. And here we can have a some feature or neighborhood space for this block and this area for that particular block. If you look before, from here you can't see much the design ideas, isn't it? Because of uh, this is the existing and this is the proposal. So when I put or the block, the building and the landscape there, so you start to understand the character or the atmosphere of the particular setting, right? And you can see the block, you can see the garden there. So this show the landscape, uh, uh, the landscape character as well as the image making of this particular area that you want to develop. And in this quick sketch, you can see the plan on the right side and the section below, as well as the 3D. This is become a package. So you start off presenting your ideas on plan on that schematic plan. Then the section to show the hierarchy of the space. Then the uh, on the top left, you can see the 3D image. Okay. Actually, this is my sketch to show up the previous residential block landscape. So this what we call a 1 point perspective. This is the point, right? And this to see this view taken from this part, from this angle. Imagine that this is the view. So this standing there, so you are facing that is the view. You can see the water feature, and you can see the landscape behind it, and you can see that's the building character. And here shows that the uh, other part of the planning, right? So maybe you can imagine that that particular area happened at this angle, right? Angle. Okay. So now you can see that is the dash using a 2 point perspective. So one here point and another point there. This is 2 point perspective. That's why you can see the two vision. One left side, and another one is the right side. And this is a 1 point perspective. One of the important in working on perspective is not just about understand the uh, composition or the setting up of the features, but also the landscape philosophy, right? For example, giving some attraction of this particular area, so show some accessibility, the walkway, and the cooling effect by the water features. So you start presenting your explanation on your design through this kind of drawings. That is my drawing, and this is another isometric 60 by 30. So you can see the space making, you can see the landscape character, even you can see the composition. But you can test it first. Maybe before you reach this level, you start thinking do a process like this, right? Or you can start your design ideas into the 3D in a very quick sketches. That is the. And now we come into perspective. What is the difference between isometric or isometric and also perspective? Perspective is more wide angle and defined by certain principle. Okay, so from here you start with a line. This is the what we call it the vanishing line. Okay, how you define the uh, what they call it, this uh, horizon. Okay, side. If you go this one lower, here example, this is your horizon. So you can see more angle like people walking. So if you put there, so this different is that is the different angle. Maybe that's why to allocate this vanishing point is very important. What do you want to show it? Normally, when we want to draw use at 1 point perspective, we need to put below the 50% or half of this paper. So this line is good, whether here, here or here. But don't go up. If you go upper, so your view is more wider, then it's look like a bird's eye view, not a man eye view. Okay. So this is 2 point perspective. So you can see this angle and this angle. So 2 point perspective. This is the vanishing point and this is another vanishing point, right? So the left vanishing point and the right vanishing point. So you can see this two-dimensional angle to show two different type of spaces. For one uh, point perspective, you just can see one side. All right, this is the difference. So you want to show up a more widened view, you can use this 2 point perspective. Okay, so the importance of how you setting up the vanishing point is very important. What the angle that you really want to highlight it is depend on you as a designer, right? So that's vanishing point define or determine the horizon line. This is horizon line. This is vanishing point. Uh, a part of it, I think that your vision is very important. Okay, it looks like what kind of angle that you want to show it to your client. So that's why here you must able to figure out certain imagination to explain your design proposal. Okay. Another important here is about sketching from your memory. So you setting up again. This is more about sketches. You can follow your this perspective order, but once you think about three-dimensional, it doesn't matter. It's something that you really want to show it to your client about some special in your design proposal. So that's why in 3D, not just working on the three-dimensional drawing, but also from there you can expect that how rich your design. Okay, maybe some elements are not enough, so you want to readjust to relocate. That's fine. So through the three-dimensional drawing, you can understand that what are the best composition of your design elements, design proposal, texture, material, composition, right? So this is the 1 point perspective. On top view, you can see there. So these people are looking toward the wall. This is the bottom line and the vision there. Can you see my slide? Change.
Yes, dot.
Changing.
Okay.
Yes.
This is 1 point or 2 point here. This is 1 point, right? Because
1 point.
Yes.
your angle just limited to the further or view in front of you. So this is 1 point or 2 point.
2.
2 point.
So 2 point. If you look, where is the vanishing point? If you look here, sorry, this is the horizon, and this is the left vanishing point. This is right vanishing point. Okay, so right. Hope you can understand it. So I really propose to you, suggest to you to draw, to start do a lot of sketches in order for you to improve. You can go beyond my instruction or numbers of exercises. If you do more, you will get more. So that's why it's not easy to sketch out because of maybe during your school time you doesn't care much on drawings, right? So once you enter this school, so you need to catch up a bit on your skill and also your design thinking. So now you can see much more. This is a 1 point perspective to see the view here, here. Yeah, this is all 1 point. Okay, just a one side that goes further your vision. Okay, this is another 1 point perspective. So to start on thinking the composition amongst element, right? For example, you can see trees, the floor finish, then the feature wall. Okay, maybe we can add on some landscape elements there. This is 1 point perspective. I believe that in your sketches, maybe you um, also already experience this. Uh, Once you start do quick sketches, especially in the uh, uh, view that you already access. So this is another 1 point perspective. So you can see that is the vanishing point, that is the horizon. Okay. So after this, I want you to start on working on 3D. Last time you you already draw the shelter, some garden. So you can use also that plan, or you can also propose a new plan. But you must start practicing how you can develop a 3D drawings from axonometric, isometric, and also point of perspective, 1 point or 2 points. This is 1 point or 2 point.
This is 1 point.
1.
That is 1 point. Okay.
1 point.
So yeah. So and see, when you want to put this vanish horizon line, it depends. If you look more further up, so it looks like you are flying to see the whole view. But maybe in the big space, or maybe in the city or big park, it's good to have this vanishing point above 5 because we can see the whole view of that particular area. But if you want to explain the experience of people when they walk through your garden, so you need to put your vanishing point below, for example, 4.5, 4 or 3.7, something like that. So you can try it. So now, looking on the dimension example, so this is 1 meter, or it's 1 meter, this is 1 meter, right? This is half of it. So this is 1 meter here. And two, you can construct this line, then you can extrude from this square, become a your constructive guidance. Okay, the line. So this again the 1 point perspective. So you can see the view is a bit limited, and you can see also uh, the composition, the position of your horizon line, and also the vanishing point. So your vanishing point actually define the type of angle that you want to show up, especially in creating and in creation of the horizon line. So this is 1 point or 2 point.
One
1 point. 1 point.
One
This
point or
one.
point.
2 point? 1 point, right?
Yeah.
Point.
Yeah, you are right. So you can see this is the construction line. So you can see all this perspective, it goes there. We can hear a frog singing. Someone, maybe some of you, uh, waiting for raining at your home. So you can see this is the 1 point perspective, right? That's why this is so. When you draw the perspective, this structure must stand vertical. Okay, vertical composition, right? So all this must be vertical. Cannot be, you cannot draw like this kind of column. This column going to be collapse, right? So you must use your vertical ruler, okay, your rolling ruler to draw properly. Okay, this is another 1 point. So you can see all point goes at a certain view there. Okay, but it's again that from here in this three-dimensional drawing, you can see the landscape character as well. Definitely, for example, how you compose your hardscape, your hardscape features, your softscape features, what kind of activity that you allow people to utilize the space later on. So all this are very important, not just about your drawing skill, but also your design ideas. To understand your design ideas, then from your side, it's enough for you to capture and to show up the landscape character, and this could be one of the important selling point for you. So this again 1 point perspective, right? So it depend on your um, vanishing point that form your horizon line. Okay, so you can start on like this, very simple 2 point perspective. So this is the paper. So here you construct this line, this horizontal line, and you put this, what they call it here. Ni apa ni? What is that? This is the horizon point or vanishing point?
Vanishing point.
This is the vanishing point, right? So vanishing left point and right. So it shows this is the, for example, the space, the building.
What, teacher?
Example, this is the building.
Yeah.
That is the very, you can see that's a very basic drafting. Then you can see the example, this is the building. Now I'm trying to demonstrate it to you. So you can imagine that's the building. Okay. So this is the walkway. Okay, the walkway. And maybe you can plan the, so this one, you just assume that this is the palm, and the next here, this is the guidance, the guide. So this is the second palm, right? And the third palm become more shorter. Okay, can you see how from the basic perspective line, then you construct your design ideas. You understand, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, ni ada yang ngantuk ni. Right. Tomorrow is holiday, isn't it? How's about your studio, guys?
Studio is great.
All right, very good. Do you already start draw a plan section or
Yes,
design?
yes. We are going towards master plan.
Okay, very good. I suggest to you to see a lot of references. Okay, the design process, colors, perspective, coloring. I will share next week. So this is you can see the block, the building, and now you can see from that particular basic drawing. So now you can see the block already there to show up the character. So that's why the vanishing point will define the horizon line as well as to define the composition that you need to show. Okay. Okay. 2 point and 1 point perspective, right? This is 1 point, isn't it? This is the combination. So this is 1 point and this is the 2 point, right? So the 2 point, this is vanishing point, two vanishing point, define the 2 point perspective, and from here is this vanishing point to define this single, 1 point perspective. Okay, so you can imagine a 2 point and 1 point perspective. Okay, now we are moving to the sketching exercise. So for example, so I think this is much more on perspective as well. Perspective. So for example, you draw the box. This is the box. Maybe simple, transparent shelter. From there, you uh, develop various type of angle, view. Then you start on the 3D. So this very basic, simple uh, exercise. So you just draw a block like that, right? Block, a plan. So you can imagine that you are standing here and you are facing the block. So what are the character of this space or this drawing? Okay, this is 1 point and this is a 2 point, right? This is a 2 point. 2 point perspective, this is 1 point. So this 2 point, you can see this point. Okay, that is the angle and this is the angle. Okay, you can start on do very simple block like this and try to draw axonometric, isometric, and perspective. 1 point and 2 point. I'm not asking you to draw a plan or to use a maybe complicated plan, but enough for you. Just draw a block like this on plan. Maybe you can use a scale. Then you start on the 2D 2 point perspective and 1 point perspective. Is it okay, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Because this exercise is not just about design composition, but it's just to understand about how perspective or three-dimensional drawing can help to generate your design ideas, to helping you on in your presentation to your client, right? Sometimes it's difficult to complete our design work through plan. Maybe on plan, for example, you can see very limited view. But you after you start change into a 3D, maybe you can improve certain landscape design in this drawing. Then you can also link back to your plan or section. You can work other ways. Okay, around. Yeah, I think of course I will give this message to you. Okay, but you also can check. You can see the 1 point, the top view. That is the top view. Okay, you're standing a bit far from there, the waterfront. You can see the building, right? So 1 point and 2 point. Okay, this is the 1 point and 2 point as well, isn't it? This is 1 point perspective, and this is a 2 point. The mix of 1 point and 2 point. And this is 1 point or 2 point. This is a 2 point perspective, right? So you can see this is the space that you want. You can highlight it, and this is the space. Also, you can highlight it. So you have a two visual to show up your landscape character. So the left side and the right side. If you use the 1 point perspective, maybe your view is very limited. Okay, this is very quick sketch. Part of your perspective, so you can also start thinking about sketching exercises. I think that's I already show it to you. So make sure all these lines stand vertically. Stand vertical, even the trees. Don't draw like this. Okay. Example, this is your palm, right? Then you got a people. Please organize well. Okay. All this structure must stand vertical, and this is going to be your horizontal. So what you see, so you try to capture in your mind. Okay, then you um, transfer into the drawing form. So get the composition. Example, this guy, this fella look from this frame. So what they can see, what they want, they can avoid. Okay. So that's why I'm suggesting to you this is part of the learning process of understanding of the landscape composition. So don't go detail. So you start drawing very quick and simple way just to show up the whole landscape character. Then the whole composition there. Then you just choose this part only. Okay. Same like this. For example, you can use a different type of stroke using a pencil. So you can put in your sketchbook, right? Okay, this is to show the leg. So you can put this very simple sketch, but it's meaningful because of the landscape character can easily understand from this sketch, these sketches. I think last time I already showed it to you. Maybe your focus only this building, this with the dome there, right? So you just focus on your sketch frame. So you put it there, then you start detail up a bit. So this you can see the end product there is almost acceptable and easy to read. I want you to practice. So you can apply your different type of stroke, texture, drawing skill and character. Right? This is how the author already developed. From here, very uh, very rough and just a draft. Then they put certain texture there, and this is more detailed a bit. Not so much detail because this is just to show up the visual of this particular area. So then you can see the palm. Yeah, this maybe for architecture students, that's could be fine. But landscape architecture need to show up more the green space or the open space, potential open space that we can develop later. Okay, that's why I already asked you to show up certain sketch, your own sketches. From here, you will learn a lot, right? The composition of building, you can see different type of roof line. You can put a texture. You can show up certain detailing. So you must always imagine that when you draw, what type of vision Is it a ground level, the bird eye view level? Okay, that what you can see more further, right? But you go closer, so your view are much limited. Then you start draw in front of you. This is also same. This is the area. So they start make a, a guide. You know, for example, to put all this composition, so you get the whole component first. Then you detail up later on, step by step. So this is another example. So the composition is very important. Then you apply also the landscape language, for example, balance, harmony, right? Yeah, I think that's all for now on the three-dimension drawing. Of course, that in the real practice, there are many ways that you can show it. Hello?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, let me end my slide. Oh, my. Okay. Is there any question from you guys?
Doctor,
Yes.
may I ask, so for today works, we need to draw the perspective sketch and the isometric and isometric sketch, right?
Yeah, you can start with the
Then
simple
how
box like
about
this.
the box?
Simple box.
Oh, the box is the example, simple lah, a simple
Yeah,
example lah.
yeah.
Okay,
This is
okay.
part of the you start practice it to get some like this. Maybe I can show you again. Then later, after you yourself more comfortable in this kind of drawing, you start design it. For example, this is the box, right? Of course, it must be in scale, right? So is if this is the example, maybe the box is very small. So maybe the shelter. Let me explain to you like this. Okay, wait. So you can imagine that is the box. Okay. So now they change into a shelter. So this is the view. So this person actually standing here. Looking out this view and that view. This is the position. So that's why then you can also start looking for this is the trees. Okay, that is the trees as well. Then you can start draw the
Prof,
tree.
Prof ada guna slide lain ke Prof?
Okay, no,
Lukis ke?
Prof
no,
ada lukis ke?
yeah, okay, let me stop sharing. Macam mana tu tak nampak Okay. Okay, let me show you again. Okay, now I change into the presentation mode. I need to swap my presenter view. Okay, can you see the whole the presentation mode of
Yes.
this?
Yes.
So yeah, just now I already draw it. So this is the box, right? And this is you. And you can imagine that this fella standing at this point.
Where?
Can you see?
No.
No, I think it's not the presentation yet.
Still on the presentation Prof.
Still on the PPT, but not on the presentation mode.
Oh. Now you can see the red line, no?
No.
No.
Oh, I'm not sure what happened. Uh,
Oh,
this one. Can you see the red line?
No.
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 Oh my god. Good. Okay.
Alright.
Yang tadi nampak Prof. Yang tadi nampak Prof.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
previous one. The previous one.
Yeah, I can understand, but I don't know why this change. Never mind. Oops, sorry. Let me share some. Okay, can you see?
Yes.
Can you see the red line?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. This is this angle. Okay, that is the angle, right? So for example, once you draw a twist there, one palm here. Can you see my drawings?
Yes.
Yes, bro.
Yes.
Okay. So one palm and one twist. So here you draw a twist, right? Because this is the twist. That is this. So then here the angle you can see the palm. So on plan and in the perspective must be similar. All right. Okay.
Alright.
So you can start just draw. For example, using your A3, you draw using a scale of 1 to 50 or maybe get the proportion. This is fine. All right. No need in scale. No need to use a scale. So you can imagine that the proportion. So this is the shelter, maybe the box. So you use a then you transfer into a 3D isometric and axonometric. If this is isometric, you can have like here, right? So this is 45 by 40. Sorry, maybe I'm using this. So this is 45 by 45 degree. So this is you are here maybe. You can see this view. You can see this view. So you can from this box you can try 2-point perspective, 1-point perspective, isometric and also axonometric. So what I want you to start working on to understand about the principle of these three-dimensional drawings. Then later you can extend it into a different type of form. For example, when you see more bigger picture, gardens, the landscape setting, maybe we can see that this is how we understand to develop this perspective, right? Before you get this kind of pictures. As well as if you can see here, this is I think in the uh, computer work. This is manual work, right? The 1-point perspective, and this is I think already enough to show it to you. Later I will share this slide. Okay, 1 point. This is 1-point perspective example. Okay, this is my drawings in 2005. Where were you at that time? 2005. This is my drawings.
At preschool. Early preschool.
How old are you?
4 years old.
How old?
4 years old.
5 years old. Okay, this is in my drawing when I studied in UK.
Still starting to
2005.
draw a circle.
Yeah. So this you can understand this drawing, right? The 2D and 3D. So I switch my plan into the 60 to 30 then I start extrude the all the point, the line there to develop the structure. And when once you complete it, you can see the overall view of this particular area clearly. So that's it, the isometric and axonometric how it works. Same like this, you know. So the you have the plan, then you just turn it into a 60, 60 30 or 45 by 45. 45 by 45 we call axonometric. 60 and 30 we call isometric. But it's no, sometimes it's not necessary for you to come up with all. No, maybe your lecturer will ask to provide a 4 perspective or 3-dimensional drawings. Then you can start thinking about which one that you prefer, and what kind of view or visual that you want to tackle on. On plan, that it doesn't show much. This is more also easier to understand it. From plan to change into the isometric or axonometric. Even this is the interior, but I think it's more easier to understand it. So you have a grid line there, then you just start develop. Once you complete the plan, then you start. Can you see my red line?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the wall. I think I already explained to you before. Then you can. This is much a bit complicated, but you can start on after you complete the box. So you can start move on to see more complex features. Okay, but how you develop this 3D, right? Okay, any question? Okay, guys.
Okay,
So
No. I want to ask the sketching, the perspective sketching tu, does we need to play with the shadow or with the shading?
yeah, if you want to do it, you want to do, this is fine for me. You can put some shadow. It's depend on your creativity. For example, like this. Again, I need to show it. This is not so much. You can see no shadow, no texture. Okay, just a line, you know, the composition. But here you can see more. It is fine. Sometimes we use this for very quick ideas, schematic concept. So this one maybe a final drawings to show more uh, clear in terms of what kind of trees that you want to propose, what sort of vegetation image. All right, so you can also put the shadow to show the more 3-dimensional form, and also the 3D dimension landscape image. Yeah. Okay. Any other question?
One and only Iron Paradise is.
Hello. I think that's all for today. Of course, that there are a lot of references in the website. Yes. You can use pen or pencil, no problem. Hello.
Yes, teacher. Yes.
Someone.
Does it the attendance?
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, the attendance QR code.
Now I'm opening my UTM. For space student, any question?
Doctor,
Now I'm opening the system. It's a bit. Now I'm waiting to open the system. I hope it's no problem from my home. Yes, you have a question? Please do
Doctor,
so.
can you hear me?
Still buffering.